In order to send your ASN an invoice from RMS main menu, click on the EDI Send Receive. The different options you have here specify documents to send, so it's defaulted to send both the invoices and the ship notice. We strongly recommend that you do send them both at the same time so that you don't forget to do one or the other at a later date. Send to retailer prime time. If you want the retailer to get the 856 ASN or 810 invoice right away within approximately an hour, you would check that box. Otherwise, everything goes in an overnight batch. So if I want to send everything that's in the queue, so I'm going to click on the Send ASN/invoice, continue with send, yes. It does come up with a print preview prior to sending. The criteria that the system uses for sending documents is that it needs an invoice number and invoice date, it needs to have quantity shipping, and it has not been transmitted before. Okay. Magnify the screen here. So this is a rejected invoice shipping summary. Okay, it says the field in error is total cartons and weight. So at this point, if I do want this invoice to go and ASN to go, I would exit out of here, go into the actual order, populate the total cartons and the weight. This is coming from in utilities required fields for this particular retailer. It states do not send without having the total cartons populated and the weight populated. Okay, I'm going to close out of this. And now it's thinking of what else is out there to be sent. Okay, here's the report of what's getting ready to be sent. So the two items that's on the previous rejected invoice summary sheet, those are not on here. Those will not go until those two fields are populated. Okay, this is telling me, okay, I've got something for Academy Sports and for Barney's. So if you've got multiple retailers, they're going to show up, all of them here in this report. Now this is a summary sheet prior to sending. So you want to double check, make sure that all of this information is correct. Everything that you want to go is here on this summary sheet. You take a look at your quantity shipped and your quantity box. So now this is eaches, so 36,000 pieces, 36,000 shipped and boxed, which is perfect because of course you don't want the difference between those two numbers. Everything that you're shipping you want to have boxed. Double check the dollar amount, double check that everything's there that you want to send for Academy Sports. Different retailers require things to be consolidated. Maybe a consolidated ASN or a consolidated invoice. That's why you want to make sure that everything goes on one transmission to that particular retailer so that our system can consolidate based on their mapping requirements. So once this report looks fine, you can close out of it. Either way you'll close out of it. If you do see a problem with something, you can exit out of this send receive, go into the order, make your corrections, come back in here to send. I'm going to close out of here. The next report is a pallet ship ID report, so you can get additional information there. Closing out of that. Lastly, this report is a bill of lading carton label report. Anything in red here, like total cartons, does not match number of UCC carton labels. So for the Academy Sports that I'm getting ready to send, I had stated in the order where it says total cartons a store being 35,000 versus the total number of labels I had done is 36,000. So you want to exit out of here, make the corrections, come back in. Close out of here. This is the very last step before it's actually being sent to the retailer. Verify report information before continuing. I'm going to answer no so that we can look at one other function here. If you want to filter your send, you can click on filters. You can do any number of these as your filter. In my case, I'm going to say I only want academies to go. Okay, so I'm going to select Academy Sports. If at the end of the day, if you only want to send the ASN an invoice that's shipping that day, I would recommend putting in the date shipped, because more than likely you've got today's date as the date shipped. Okay, once you fill in your filters, click Close, and then click on Send ASN/invoice. And at this point, it's only going to pull the Academy Sports that's ready to go. Okay, and again, here's your printout to take a look, make sure that everything looks okay. You're going to get the same report here after you verify everything and you say yes to continue with the send. This transmit number will then be populated here after you actually do a physical send. I'm going to close out of here. It's going to come up with that same report, the bill of lading cartons, stating, okay, I've got 35,000 cartons versus this is how many actual labels I did. So I would want to go out, make the correction, come back in, and then send. Okay, and here's where you would answer yes, and it would actually send. All right, so that completes the ASN invoice send.